Brexit vote stops the New World Order. Brexit vote stops the New World Order. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel with the Black Political Buzz Network. On June 24th, 2016, the world rocked as news of the Brexit vote in the UK hit the airwaves. The Brexit vote is spelled Brexit, which actually is an abbreviation of some type or an acronym for the British exiting the European Union. The Brexit vote took place on June 24th, 2016, and it was historic because the UK, the United Kingdom, voted in favor of exiting the European Union. Now let me explain to you what the EU or the European Union is. The European Union was a treaty that was signed into order in the year 1992. The date was February 7th, 1992. 12 European countries signed a treaty to form or establish what's called the European Union. This union created basically a union or a new order for these European countries. They created one type of money or one type of money to be used for that, for those countries, which was the euro, EURO. So all of the individual unique money that those countries had established for their citizens, that those systems, those monetary systems individually were basically eliminated, and they began to use the euro. So all currency became the euro. So there was no longer any individual currency for countries like the UK, Denmark, France, etc. They all began to convert currency using the euro system. The euro system was not the best currency trading system for finance or foreign money, but that's what was used. That was what the European Union decided they were going to do. This was a way to allow the most elite, wealthiest citizens of those 12 European countries that signed into forming the European Union. This was a way to allow the most elite and wealthiest members of those countries' societies to gain more wealth, because all of the money, all the individual currencies from those countries were converted to the euro. So who benefited from that financial system? It wasn't the regular citizens who benefited from it. It was the wealthiest citizens. And this system also created somewhat of a monarchy, somewhat of a government monarchy. They had people in positions who were not elected by the regular voters in those countries. It was just the top positions, the leadership positions were handed to people. So if I was the queen and I liked you, I gave you a job as prime minister. Well, if I was the queen or the king of a country and I liked you, I gave you the job of a CEO, as a CEO. So therefore, these countries that formed the European Union, they created their own form of government, their own government system as well. It was no more by the people. It was more of by the leaders, the elite leaders, because only the members of elite society were allowed to be leaders in the European Union. And so the European Union, the money basically was funneled into the hands of the most wealthiest citizens in those countries. The poor got poorer the middle class was totally diminished. So the middle class in these 12 countries was diminished. It was, basically slowly but surely the middle class began to disappear from society in those countries. And the poor got poorer, the rich got richer. So the European Union was designed and established to make the rich richer. This was the first phase of establishing the New World Order. The New World Order that so many people around the world have heard about. For years and years, there have been whispers of a New World Order being formed by planet Earth's wealthiest citizens. Many people describe these people as the Bilderberg Group. The Bilderberg Group is also supposed to be, 300 or 400 of the wealthiest people on planet Earth. They control all the money. They also control the United States. They also control the United States of America. That's right. The Bilderberg Group controls the USA. Has done so for decades. Long before the European Union was formed in 1992, the Bilderberg Group has been controlling the USA. So the European Union and the Bilderberg Group, they began to create all these regulations, taxes. Regulations are nothing more than taxes. In case you didn't know that, a regulation, nothing more than a legal tax. They create a regulation to keep people from becoming wealthy. When I say people, I'm speaking of middle class citizens and poor citizens. So regulations are a form of taxation, which prevents people who are poor and middle class from creating their own wealth, like as in a small business. If you create a bunch of regulations, then you can't really start a small business that's successful, because you have to meet all these regulations in order to stay in business. So the regulation steals your profits. So if you are a small business owner, the regulation steals your profits. So the European Union and the New World Order, that's what they were doing. They were creating all these regulations to steal the profits of small business owners. Therefore, the middle class could not sustain, or could not stay in, could not, last. The middle class citizens could not last. They could not sustain themselves. And poor people who were poor, they remained poor or became even poorer. And then the rich became more wealthy. So the European citizens, they decided in the UK that they were tired of living, in this class, in this underclass that was created by the Brexit. That was created by the European Union. The citizens of the UK, the United Kingdom citizens, they decided they were tired of being poor, tired of being treated like servants, tired of not being in control of their own destiny. That was the main thing. UK citizens were tired of not being in control of their own destiny, being told by elite leaders what they can and cannot do in terms of success, in terms of prosperity, and how to live their lives. So they voted on June 24th, 2016 to exit the European Union and go back to where things used to be, when the citizens of the UK were in charge of their own destiny and they had their own currency, which was the pound, not the euro. And the vote was successful. They voted yes. The vote was successful, and it was heard around the world. Now, other countries that formed the European Union, they're also preparing to leave the EU. They're also preparing to leave the EU. France is preparing to leave. So is Germany and some other countries, Denmark and some other countries. This is a sign that the New World Order is being stopped. Because see, without the European Union, the New World Order can't go forth. And this should be a wake up call for the USA. This Brexit vote and people and other countries leaving the European Union, this should be a wake up call for the United States of America, for the USA, during the 2016 election this November. The people want to take back their own lives. The voting citizens, the everyday average citizens, want to be in control once again of their own destiny. We want to have an opportunity to succeed, to create our own businesses, to be creative, to not be held in bondage by taxation regulations or regulatory standards, disguised, or I say taxes that are disguised as regulatory standards. We're tired of it. So that Brexit vote in the UK on June 24, 2016, that was the people, the common people, the regular people saying, we've had enough. We're tired of it. The USA should take heed to this. The New World Order is being stopped, and the people are taking back their own lives. The Brexit vote stops the New World Order. I hope the USA was listening. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel at the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.